It happens to all of us. You walk into a room and suddenly forget why you're there. Or maybe you struggle to recall a name that's right on the tip of your tongue. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. As we get older, it's natural for our memory to need a little extra support. But here's the good news. There are simple, everyday things we can do to keep our minds sharp and our memories strong. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 key things that can help improve memory, especially for those of us over 65. These aren't complicated tricks or expensive treatments, just practical, science-backed habits that can make a real difference. And the best part? You can start today. So, let's begin with the first one, something you've probably heard before, but maybe haven't given much thought to lately: staying physically active. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How does moving my body help my memory? Well, it turns out, exercise does more than just keep your heart healthy. When you get moving, whether it's a brisk walk, gardening, or even dancing around the living room, you're boosting blood flow to your brain. That means more oxygen and nutrients to help brain cells thrive. Studies have shown that regular physical activity can even help grow new connections in the brain, which is like giving your memory a little tune-up. And you don't have to run a marathon to see the benefits. Even 20 to 30 minutes of gentle movement most days can make a difference. The key is finding something you enjoy, because if it's fun, you're more likely to stick with it. Now, let's move on to the second thing that can help keep your memory sharp: eating brain-friendly foods. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." And when it comes to memory, that couldn't be more true. Certain foods are like fuel for your brain. Think of colorful fruits and vegetables. Blueberries, spinach, and broccoli are packed with antioxidants that protect your brain from wear and tear. Fatty fish like salmon or trout are rich in omega-3s, which are like superfoods for memory. And don't forget nuts and seeds. Walnuts, almonds, and flax seeds are great for snacking and great for your brain. On the other hand, too much sugar or processed food can have the opposite effect, leaving you feeling foggy. So next time you're at the grocery store, try filling your cart with foods that love your brain as much as you do. And that brings us to our third tip: getting enough quality sleep. If you've ever had a night of tossing and turning, you know how hard it is to think clearly the next day. But sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's when your brain sorts through the day's memories, deciding what to keep and what to let go. Without enough deep sleep, those memories don't get properly stored, making it harder to recall them later. If you struggle with sleep, try setting a regular bedtime, keeping your room cool and dark, and avoiding screens right before bed. A warm cup of chamomile tea or a few minutes of gentle stretching can also help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Now, we've covered 3 important ways to support your memory: moving your body, feeding your brain, and getting good sleep. But there's more to explore, so let's keep going. Next, we'll talk about how staying socially connected, challenging your mind, and managing stress all play a role in keeping your memory strong. So, tell me, have you noticed a difference in your memory when you're active, eating well, or sleeping better? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're finding this helpful, stay tuned. We've got even more great tips coming up. Welcome back. We've already talked about how staying active, eating the right foods, and getting good sleep can help keep your memory sharp. Now, let's dive into the next few things that make a big difference, starting with staying socially connected. You might not think of chatting with friends or family as a memory booster, but it's one of the most powerful tools we have. When we engage in conversations, share stories, or even laugh with loved ones, we're giving our brains a workout. Socializing challenges us to think, listen, and respond, all of which keep our minds active. Plus, those meaningful connections help reduce stress and loneliness, which, believe it or not, can actually cloud our memory over time. Now, I know it's not always easy to stay connected, especially if family lives far away or if you've lost touch with old friends. But even small interactions count: calling a neighbor, joining a local club, or even chatting with the cashier at the grocery store. If you're comfortable with technology, video calls can be a great way to see loved ones face-to-face without leaving home. The key is to make socializing a regular part of your life, not just something you do once in a while. And speaking of keeping your brain active, let's move on to our next tip: challenging your mind. Just like muscles, your brain gets stronger when you use it. But here's the catch: it's not just about doing the same crossword puzzle every day, though those are great. To really give your memory a boost, you need to try new things. Learning a skill you've never done before, whether it's painting, playing an instrument, or even cooking a new recipe, creates fresh pathways in your brain. Ever heard of the phrase, use it or lose it? That applies to your memory, too. Simple changes, like brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand or taking a different route on your walk, can wake up parts of your brain that have been on autopilot. The more you challenge yourself, the more flexible and resilient your memory becomes. Now, let's talk about something that affects all of us, but doesn't always get the attention it deserves: managing stress. Stress is sneaky. It doesn't just make us feel frazzled. It can actually interfere with how our brain stores and retrieves memories. When we're stressed, our bodies produce cortisol, a hormone that, in high amounts, can damage brain cells over time. That's why you might notice it's harder to remember things when you're feeling overwhelmed. So what can we do about it? Well, the good news is that simple relaxation techniques can make a big difference. Deep breathing exercises, gentle yoga, or even just sitting quietly for a few minutes each day can help lower stress levels. Another great trick is keeping a gratitude journal. Writing down a few things you're thankful for shifts your focus away from worries and toward the positive. And here's a bonus tip: laughter really is medicine. Watching a funny show, sharing a joke with a friend, or even smiling more often can reduce stress and keep your mind clearer. Now, we've covered 5 key ways to support your memory: moving your body, eating well, sleeping soundly, staying social, and challenging your mind. But there's one more important piece to the puzzle, and it's something many of us overlook. In the next part, we'll talk about how hydration and routine health checkups play a role in keeping your memory strong. You might be surprised how much of a difference these small habits can make when you put them all together. So tell me, have you noticed that staying social or learning something new helps your memory? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. And if you're enjoying this series, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the final part. Remember, taking care of your memory is one of the best gifts you can give yourself, and it's never too late to start. Host, we've made it to the final part of our journey to a sharper memory, and I have to say, this last tip might be the simplest of all, but it's just as important as the others. Let's talk about staying hydrated. Now, I know what you're thinking: water? Really? But trust me, dehydration affects your brain more than you might realize. When we don't drink enough, our brain cells literally shrink, making it harder to focus and remember things. Ever had that foggy, slow feeling in the afternoon? Sometimes, all it takes is a glass of water to clear your head. Aim for about 6 to 8 glasses a day, but listen to your body. If you're thirsty, don't ignore it. And if plain water feels boring, try adding a slice of lemon, cucumber, or even a few berries for flavor. Herbal teas count too. Just keep those fluids coming. Your brain will thank you. Now let's talk about something equally important but often overlooked: routine health checkups. Our memory doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's connected to our overall health. Things like high blood pressure, diabetes, or even certain medications can impact how well your brain works. That's why regular visits to your doctor are so important. Catching small issues early can prevent bigger problems down the road, including memory trouble. And don't forget about your hearing and vision. Struggling to hear conversations or read clearly can make it seem like your memory is fading when really, it's just harder to take in information. Simple fixes like hearing aids or updated glasses can work wonders. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you of something crucial. Improving your memory isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Maybe you'll drink more water but forget to do your crossword some days. Or perhaps you'll have a wonderful chat with a friend but skip your walk. That's okay. What matters is that you're making small, consistent efforts, because those add up to big changes over time. Let's quickly recap all 6 tips. Stay active. Keep that blood flowing to your brain. Eat brain-boosting foods, colorful, natural, and nourishing. Prioritize sleep. Let your brain sort and store those memories. Stay social. Conversation is like a workout for your mind. Challenge yourself. New experiences keep your brain young. Drink water and check your health, the foundation for everything else. I'd love to hear which of these tips resonated most with you. Maybe you've already noticed a difference from trying one of them? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps others discover this information too. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We create content just like this to help you live your healthiest, happiest life after 60. Here's to you. to your health, your happiness, and to making every memory count. Remember, age is just a number, but a sharp mind? That's priceless. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.